Have you ever wondered how many crashes the Rockwell B1 Lancer, also known as the Bone, has had over the years? The B-1 Lancer is not just another aircraft, it's a supersonic, long-range bomber used by the United States Air Force, an iconic piece of military engineering that has left its mark in the skies. When we talk about the B-1, we're diving into a world of advanced technology, speed, and power. However, every aircraft has its vulnerabilities, and discussing crashes is crucial because it sheds light on the challenges involved in operating high-performance machines like the B-1. In this video, you will experience all the Rockwell B1 Lancer crashes known to history. On Wednesday, August 29, 1984, a B-1A departing from Edwards Air Force Base for a test flight suffered a loss of control due to a mistake in transferring fuel, and it crashed over the Mojave Desert, California, United States. The aircraft was operated by the U.S. Air Force. On board were 3 occupants, a test pilot, Tommy Douglas Benefield, and 2 crew members, Major Richard V. Reynolds and Captain Otto J. Wonichek. Unfortunately, the chief pilot, Benefield, who was the first test pilot for the B-1 prototype in 1974, lost his life, and the other 2 crew members sustained injuries. The aircraft was written off as damaged. Then, on Monday, September 28, 1987, at La Junta, Colorado, a B-1B bomber on a low-level training mission suffered a bird strike. The impact damaged critical fuel and hydraulic lines on one side of the aircraft. The plane hit a shale hill, bounced, and then exploded into fireballs. There were 6 crew members on board: Captain Joseph S. Butler, Captain Lawrence H. Haskell, Major William H. Price, Major James T. Acklin, First Lieutenant Ricky M. Bean, and Major Wayne D. Whitlock. Unfortunately, only half of the engines remained functional, long enough for some of the crew to eject. Sadly, 3 out of the 6 on board did not survive, and the aircraft burned beyond repair. 3 years later, in October 1990 in Colorado, a B-1B experienced a major engine explosion while on a training route. A fire started on the left side of the plane, and the crew managed to shut down the damaged engine. An investigation revealed that the engine had suffered a severe failure, with engine blades slicing through the mounts. Fortunately, no lives were lost. But this incident led to updates in the design of B-1B engines to make them more reliable. However, just a few months later, in December 1990, at Dyess Air Force Base, Texas, another B-1B suffered engine trouble when one of its engines suddenly shut down. This incident, along with the October explosion, caused the entire B-1B fleet to be grounded for over 50 days while engineers worked to redesign the engines. A few years later, on Monday, November 30, 1992, a B-1B operated by the U.S. Air Force was on a nighttime mission in Texas after departing from Dyess Air Force Base when it crashed at Van Horn, Texas, south of El Paso. On board were 4 crew members: Major Zenon C. Gok, the commander of the aircraft, Lieutenant Paul S. Ziemba, the pilot, Captain Scott D. Gienel, the instructor of offensive systems officers, and Lieutenant Timothy A. Cookson, the defensive systems officer. The B-1B flew into a ridgeline, killing all 4 crew members on board. The crash occurred on a dark night, making it hard to see the mountains. The aircraft was damaged beyond repair. Later, on Friday, September 19, 1997, a B-1B departed from Ellsworth Air Force Base for a day training flight and crashed at Alzada, Montana, USA. The crash was due to a dangerous descent maneuver that the crew wasn't able to recover from in time. On board were 4 crew members: Colonel Anthony Beat, Major Clay Culver, Major Kirk Kekerice, and Captain Gary Everett. Unfortunately, all 4 crew members were killed. An investigation revealed that the crash was caused by an excessive sink rate that developed during a defensive maneuver. The pilot had slowed, and made a sharp turn at low altitude during a simulated bombing mission, causing the aircraft to strike the ground. The aircraft was destroyed. On Wednesday, February 18, 1998, a B-1B took off from Dyess Air Force Base, Texas, for a low-level training exercise but crashed at Marion, Kentucky. The aircraft suffered a short circuit, which shut down all 4 engines. On board were 4 crew members who, fortunately, were able to eject safely with no casualties. However, the B-1B was destroyed. On December 12, 2001, over the Indian Ocean, while flying from a base in Diego Garcia to support Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan, a B-1B operated by the U.S. Air Force experienced multiple malfunctions, making it impossible to control. The aircraft crashed into the Indian Ocean. On board were 4 crew members who managed to eject safely and were rescued shortly afterward. The aircraft was destroyed, but fortunately, no lives were lost. On Friday, April 4, 2008, a B-1B Lancer operated by the U.S. Air Force caught fire and exploded at Al Udeid Air Base during taxiing after landing. On board were 4 crew members who, fortunately, were able to evacuate. However, the aircraft was burned down. Luckily, there were no casualties. On Saturday, March 7, 2009, a B-1B was flying to Avalon to participate in the Australian International Air Show when the crew reported a landing gear problem. On board were 4 crew members. The aircraft landed at Melbourne Airport, blowing one of its tires on touchdown. Fortunately, there were no casualties, and the B-1B was not damaged. On Monday, August 19, 2013, a B-1B Lancer operated by the 28th Bomb Wing USAF took off from Ellsworth Air Force Base and crashed at Broadus, Montana during a routine training mission. The crash was caused by an undetected fuel leak in the main fuel line after the pilot swept the wings from the forward to the aft position, leading to an explosion in the B-1B's wing. The 4 crew members managed to eject and survive, but the plane was lost. Finally, on Thursday, January 4, 2024, at Ellsworth Air Force Base, South Dakota, a B-1B operated by the U.S. Air Force crashed while attempting to land in poor visibility and freezing temperatures. Fortunately, all 4 crew members on board ejected safely, but the plane was lost, marking one of the costliest incidents with a total loss of $456 million. So far, 12 deaths have been recorded and 12 crashes, excluding non-crash incidents. Did you witness any of these incidents? Let us know in the comments section.